Welcome to day 3 of 34. I hope you enjoyed day 2 yesterday. Today we'll flow what we've learned, adding a few more reps and looking more closely at some of the exercises. So whenever you're ready, if you'd like to come and join me on your mat, we'll get started. We'll always check in with our setup first. Hip distance between the feet, between your knees, shoe size roughly, heels to glutes, and you can roll your back down onto your mat. Check in with your pelvis position using your Pilates diamond shape, your compass, imprint, arch, roll your back into the mat and arch the back. Feel the difference between both pelvic tilts and then find the center for neutral, a gentle natural curve in the lower back. Lower ribs down and take your hands and cup your rib cage. Breathe in through your nose, filling the ribs out to the sides and out through your mouth to draw the ribs together. Make sure the lower ribs stay attached to the mat as you breathe so you have that stability and feedback through the spine and the back of the body. Hands by your sides, lower ribs attached to the mat, tailbone heavy, chest is open, very gentle chin nod. Avoid cramming your chin in towards your chest. Find your pelvic floor, scoop your belly and knit your ribs. Keep the pelvis still and the lower ribs attached to the mat. Pelvic floor, abs, ribs. The front of the pelvic floor, it feels like you're holding in a drop of pee. The back of the pelvic floor, it feels like you're holding in wind. Then you scoop your belly and knit your ribs. Breathe in and exhale, switch on your core, reach across the room, soften the elbows and lift head, neck and shoulders into ab prep. Pumping from the shoulders, we keep nice and still everywhere else. Midline focus, you're centered. Chin on top of an imaginary peach for your gentle chin nod. Try not to squash the peach. You can support your head anytime you like or lower the shoulders down. You could always learn your 100 by doing the lower body version instead, keeping your shoulders on the mat if that suits your neck better. So into your tabletop position, nice and sturdy. Get your form, get your focus on the center of your body, and you pump from the arms. Some of us may choose this version so the shoulders are taken out of the exercise. Some of us may like the first version so the hip flexors are taken out of the exercise. Come out of it when you're ready. Choose the one that suits you as the days go on, or build with me as we offer progressions along the way. We're setting up our C curve. Sit nice and tall. Check in with your neck, your shoulders. When you're ready, zip up, pelvic floor, front and back, abs, ribs. Breathe in. Exhale, scoop through the core. We're nice and long and strong as you tuck your tailbone and roll back with strength. Breathe in. Pull the heels towards you. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, get taller than before. Exhale, scoop through the core, C shape. Inhale. Exhale, use your core to come forward. Inhale, roll and stack. Use your exhale, draw the front of the body into the back of the body. Inhale, create space. Exhale, get into the core and inhale, roll and stack. One more rep. Connect to the breathing. Bring your focus into the center, that precision with your core work. Next exercise, bring your glutes towards your heels and roll your back down onto the mat. Hands by the sides, shoulders back, check in with your setup and come into tabletop one leg at a time. Knees and ankles together, pelvic floor, abs, ribs, nice and steady. Inhale, imprint, exhale, neutral. Inhale, imprint and bring the knees in. Exhale, knees back and neutral. Focus on the lower ribs staying attached to the mat and creating that stability through your movement. Here we can add on, lengthen the legs out, see how that weight feels. Can you keep your pelvis in neutral? If not, stick with the bent knee version. Otherwise, we inhale, knees in, exhale. You can stick with the first version we introduced, the knees staying bent. You can do the second version, or you can peel more with the spine as long as it's slow and controlled. So, inhale to peel, exhale, lower with control and lengthen at a diagonal. Feel how much the abs get involved to stabilize this movement. So we'll move on, our hamstring stretch. Stretch your legs up to the ceiling. Hands above or below your right knee, just not at the back of the knee. Lower your left leg and place the foot down. You want to stretch the right leg without your tailbone lifting off the mat. Reach through your toes, ankle, knee and hip. Breathing deeply through the center of your body with a little pressure in the opposite foot, the left foot that's on the mat. There can be a bend in the knee. We're never forcing any of the joints. so always adjust if you need to. Swap the legs over, reach through your toes, ankle, knee and hip. When it comes to flexibility, we don't want really fast results. We want slow and consistent results as the days go on. If you get really fast results, you may find those results are accompanied by joint pain, compensations, or the formation of trigger points, so be gentle and slow. Moving on, setting up our rolling like a ball, you get your C-curve start position, zip up through the center of your body, use your core, draw the front of the body through the back of the body, so we're long in the front and the back. So you always feel the core work with your back supported. Float the legs into tabletop, inhale gently back to the shoulder blades, exhale and scoop. We don't want to lose our balance, so you keep drawing back with the belly button. Inhale, exhale, as you roll forward, the belly button draws back. So again, there's that sense of opposition, sense of length in the center, and we'll finish there for today. Getting ready for our series of 5 section, roll your back onto the mat, knees above your hips, and lower your shoulders down. Open up your chest, starting with your left leg, exhale, inhale, bend, exhale, right leg, inhale, bend. Making sure that when we lift one leg, the other leg stays at a 90-degree angle. So watch your form. Exhale and inhale to bend. Exhale, stretch, inhale to bend. Exhale, use your core as you reach, inhale, bend, and again, exhale and inhale. Moving on to the next exercise, our double leg stretch. Inhale, both legs reach, exhale, bend. Inhale to the side of the ribs, exhale, scoop through the core. This will make more sense later when the exercise gets bigger. For now, those exercises just have the opposite pattern of breathing. So, moving on, we're repeating a hamstring stretch. This will prepare our body for single leg straight stretch, the exercise that we will progress to at this point in the sequence as the classes go on. Take your time with your hamstring stretch. Swap sides whenever you're ready, and breathe deeply throughout the exercise. Notice your spine against the mat, the sole of the foot that's against the mat, and reach through the top leg. When you're ready, you can stretch both legs up to the ceiling. A bend in the knees is okay as long as the pelvis is stable. Bend your feet and push through your heels. Scoop through the core and only go as low as you can maintain a neutral pelvis position. Exhale to lower, point your toes and inhale to lift. Exhale, push through the heels, point your toes and lift up to the ceiling. Exhale, bend the feet to lower, inhale to lift. Moving on to crisscross. Plant your feet, scoop through the core and use ab prep to come forward. Support your head, check in with your chin position, your chin on top of an imaginary peach without squashing it. Open your elbows out wide so your elbow can find the floor quickly. Exhale to the side, inhale center, exhale to the side, inhale center. Keep your hips steady, feet are gently pressing into the mat, and you just rotate through the upper body. Gently come out of the rep that you're on, hug your knees in to relax your lower back and roll forward. Getting ready for spine stretch prep. Sit up tall, check in with your shoulders, connect to the midline, pelvic floor, abs, ribs. Exhale, chin into the chest, stretch through upper, middle, lower back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, use your core again as you roll and stack, getting taller each time you stack back up. Inhale. Exhale, roll through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, stack your back. Breathe in. Feel the stretch, upper back to mid back to lower back. And then stack again. Progressing the breathing, we inhale, scooping forward, and exhale to roll and stack. Inhale, scoop and reach, exhale, tall through the spine. Do the version of spine stretch that suits you best. The next exercise in the series is open leg rocker. As the days go on, we'll increase our hamstring flexibility. For now, we'll do a version that doesn't ask for the length in the hamstrings yet. Get your setup for rolling like a ball. Reminder for the C-curve setup, you scoop your belly through your spine. For open leg rocker prep, toes are together and knees are apart, like a diamond shape. Hands are gently behind the knees, and then you do the same motion as rolling like a ball. Inhale to the shoulder blades and exhale to scoop and pause. If it doesn't suit you, keep your knees together, just like rolling like a ball. You can finish on the one that you're on and then let your feet fall forward. Bring your bum a bit closer to your heels, scoop through your core and roll back. When you're ready, we're repeating our rollover prep. Earlier on today, we introduced that the legs can lengthen at a diagonal. If that doesn't suit your back, you don't have to straighten out the legs. We're moving on to an exercise called saw. So when you're ready, you can roll forward and open your legs out wider than your hips. It's okay if you need to modify and bend the knees or relax the feet, but hopefully we can straighten the legs and pull the toes up towards the knees. Zip up through your center, check in with your shoulders set up and open the arms out wide. Inhale and turn as far as you can to the right. And you've 3 options. You can saw the outside of your knee, ankle or little toe. Make sure both of your hip bones stay glued to the ground. If you reach to your toe but your hip lifts, you've gone too far, so choose the version that suits you. Inhale, exhale and exhale. Inhale, tall, twist, exhale, exhale. Inhale, get taller than last time, and exhale, exhale. We're still learning the moves, so take your time with each move and pause the video whenever you need to. Take as long as you like, relaxing your shoulders and your hips, and then we're coming onto our belly. You can bring your legs around to one side, or you can cross your ankles over and roll through. This is a corrective series of exercises designed to balance our bodies, so we'll notice that we balance out the spine movements by visiting our stomach here. Check in with your neck, there's no wrinkle or pinched skin. Tuck your tailbone, push into the front of the legs, relax your shoulders, scoop through your core, reach through your ankles, and we inhale to peel the spine, only as high as you can gently tuck the tailbone, so we don't want to push our stomach into the mat. This is a co-contraction between the back and the front of the body, so we're not just pushing the back up really high. Inhale to peel and reach through the crown of the head. Exhale, lower and reach through the ankles. They're only lifting slightly off the mat, so again, you don't push your belly into the mat. Inhale, upper body. Exhale, lower body, like a seesaw. Getting ready to move on to single leg kicks. Relax your forehead onto your hands. Scoop through your core and tuck your tailbone. We'll start with the left foot, curl the toes under, bend the knee, then you pulse 2, 3, inhale, point the toes and lengthen. Second side, 2, 3, inhale, reach. So, check in with your core, kick, 2, 3, and inhale. Second side, exhale, 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 and inhale. This exercise is going to build a little over the next few days. Feel free to keep it at this level if this suits you. Double leg kicks. Bring the legs closer together, bend your feet and knees, and we pulse both feet together. Strong as you reach back through the ankles with your inhale, then you exhale, 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 and inhale to reach. Keep the spine nice and still, keep focus in your core. Exhale, 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 and inhale. Relax it out. Press onto all fours. Take your time with your shoulders, with your back, and just center yourself again. And whenever you're ready, you can bring your legs to one side or cross the ankles over and roll through. We're moving on to an exercise called neck pull. It's quite an advanced move with straight legs and hands behind the head, so we'll get there slowly over time. Start with your C curve setup, hands behind the knees, scoop through the core, draw the belly button through the spine. To progress this exercise, your hands can let go and you can go a little bit deeper. But if you find that annoys your back, keep your hands behind your knees and stick with that level for as long as it suits you while our core muscles build and we get used to all of the exercises. Take your time finishing the one that you're on and relax your shoulders. Pause the video anytime you need longer to relax your shoulders and your hips between exercises. We're getting ready to stretch our hamstrings again. Eventually these hamstring stretches will be replaced with more exercises. For now, the hamstring stretch helps to prepare our body for those exercises to come. Starting with your right leg, and we're going to hold for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. When you're ready, swap sides, adjust if you need to. We have 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come out of it when you're ready. We're just going to check our setup for shoulder bridge. Eventually we'll just flow into shoulder bridge. Hip distance, feet and knees, shoe size, heels to glutes. Roll your back down onto the mat. Check your pelvis for neutral. Hands by the sides, shoulders back and down, and lower ribs down. We're going to roll up through the spine and find a diagonal neutral. So press into the feet and peel lower, middle, upper back. Tuck your tailbone. Lift your pelvic floor, scoop your belly and knit your ribs so you're reaching your knees at a diagonal. Push into your big toes and gently roll back down. Breathe in at the bottom. Exhale to roll through the spine, feeling the difference between each link. Breathe in at the top and exhale to melt back down, one vertebra at a time. Gently pressing into the heels and big toes, reaching your knees across the room, and a gentle tuck of the tailbone at the top of this exercise. You can stick with that level, or I'll show you how we're going to progress as the days go on. Come to the top of your shoulder bridge, put all of your attention into your left foot and lift the right foot into tabletop. Do the same on the other side. Eventually we're going to add a lot of glute work on here. For now it's just an introduction. Roll forward, we're getting ready for spine twists. We're sitting cross-legged. Up nice and tall and connect to your center. Check in with your shoulder blade position. The armpits draw down and zip up through the core. Stretch the arms out to the side, palms are down, fingers are together, don't worry about the thumbs, and melt your shoulders down away from your ears. Armpits draw down. Anchor your hips onto the mat. Take a deep breath in. And when you're ready, we're going to exhale, 2, 3, inhale to the center. Exhale, 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 and inhale. You can modify by bending the elbows or placing your fingertips on your shoulders. So if space is an issue or if it suits you better, you can do one of these modifications. We're really focused on the center of the body, on wringing it out like you're wringing out a dishcloth. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale tall and proud. Exhale, 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 and inhale. Take your time relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your hips. And we're going to get ready to repeat rollover prep because it's going to prepare our body for the move that will come here that's called jackknife. I'll demo that when we're a little more advanced. For now, let's repeat that rollover prep. Check in with your pelvis. You can adjust this move to suit you. So you may peel your spine off the mat, or your tailbone could stay on the mat. You can reach at a diagonal, or you could just reach your legs up to the sky if that suits your back better. You can also just keep your knees bent. So inhale and exhale, and you choose how much you peel or how much you straighten out the legs. Keep your knees and your ankles together so you have that feedback through the center of your body. Getting ready for side lying, you can start on your left side to mirror me. You can cradle your head, relax the arm down, or support your head. Gentle bend in the bottom knee, push into the side of the ankle, knee, hip, reach through the top leg, turn the knee in, turn the knee out, feel your hip moving, and you can choose to stay parallel or turn your knee up to the ceiling if it's comfortable. The hand can help you balance in front. Push down and inhale to pull up. Exhale, bend the foot and press down. Inhale, reach. Exhale to lower. Inhale, reach through the toes, ankle, knee and hip. Exhale, push through the heel. Feel the opposition of pressing down and pulling up throughout this exercise. When you're ready, come to parallel, push through your heel, press down into the bottom leg, scoop through your core and bring the leg forward. We're not going so far behind, keep it small. Inhale, inhale and exhale, just as far as where you can keep your knee down on the ground. So relax it out, we'll just practice that on the other side. Coming to the second side, choose your upper body position, whatever suits you best. Bend the bottom knee, check in with your top hip, wake up the ball and socket joint movement. Knee can be parallel or up to the ceiling if it suits you. Press down and inhale to float the top leg up. Bend the foot and exhale lower. Inhale and exhale. Connect to the breathing, press into the bottom leg while the top leg gets longer and longer. Connect to this move. Inhale and exhale. When you're ready, parallel, push through the heel, press into the bottom leg. If your knee peels off the ground, you've gone too far with the movement, so find that control. Inhale, inhale, and exhale. Center yourself, you're controlled, you're flowing with the breath, in, and out. Come out of this move. Again, we're just getting used to all of the exercises. There's another few to introduce in side lying. For now, roll onto your back. We'll do our teaser prep. Get your heels far away from your bum, and instead of neutral, we imprint the spine. Lower ribs down so that we don't flare off the mat. Scoop through the core. The hands go first, and then you use your core to come forward. Inhale a little bit higher, exhale, use your core, and inhale to reach. You choose how high. Exhale, scoop. You can push through and come a little higher. Inhale, exhale, roll down, and inhale to reach. You're curling forward using that ab work, relaxing your neck. The abs are in control, that's center focus. You can come a little bit higher as the days go on, but make sure that you're building from the center. When you're ready, we're going to come forward. Eventually this flows into a move called hip circles. We're just prepping our hips for that bigger exercise. Hands behind the back. Spread your fingers out wide, reach out at a diagonal, open up your chest, scoop through your core and knit your ribs, but keep your chest open. Then you can lift your knees into tabletop. Come onto one glute, inhale to the center, exhale second side, inhale center. We can stick with this level. You could go onto the elbows, or we can progress it by straightening the legs. So you straighten, bend the knees through center, straighten the legs, and inhale to center, keeping your chest forward throughout. Choose the version that suits you for now. Relax the front of your hips as our body gets used to this exercise, and then whenever you're ready, you can come to one side with your legs or cross your ankles over and roll through. For swimming, get used to the coordination at the moment, and we'll build on this exercise over the next few classes. So opposite arm, opposite leg, keeping the center of the body nice and still. Reach through your ankle, reach forward through your wrist while still keeping your shoulder down your back. Again, thinking about the opposition in the exercise, the stability in the center, bringing all of these Pilates principles together. Keep your pelvis stable. We're not kicking the leg really high, we're more reaching across the room. We want to keep the stability in the center. Relax it out of your back, and when you're ready, you have hip distance between your knees. Hands onto the shoulders, knees under the hips. Check in with your neck position. So there's no pinched skin in the back of the neck. Check your shoulders sliding together and apart, sliding together and apart, and finding the center. Gentle bend in the elbows, check your pelvis, tilting up and down, finding the center. Bring your brain into your core, scoop and knit the ribs. Shoulders, hips, your neck set up, then press into the front of the feet. So we start to feel that core connection deepen. So scan the middle of the body, pelvic floor, abs, ribs, and we can bring one leg back. Push into the toes so you lift the knee. You can always curl your toes under and press into the front of the opposite toes to help you. Try this on both sides. You can build up slowly with plank. We really want our brain to go down the body. So take your time, choose a version that suits you, one leg at a time, for as long as you want. Whenever you're ready, you can try it with both legs. You squeeze your bum and your inner thighs and scoop through your core. Stick with one leg at a time if that suits you for longer. Relax it out of your shoulders. We're getting ready to go into a reverse plank, but before we get to reverse plank, we're going to do a move called tendon stretch, the same as we've been doing for the last 2 days. Relax your shoulders, and when you're ready, you can go to one side with the legs, or you can cross your ankles over and come through. Fingertips point towards your hips or out to the sides, just avoiding letting the fingers go back behind you. Your feet are parallel and you press down into the feet. Open up your chest, tuck your tailbone under gently while still keeping the chest open. Scoop through the core, and whenever you're ready, you can start to lift your pubic bone up to the sky, reaching your knees across the room, pushing into your feet so the weight goes down the body, away from the hands as much as possible. You can come out and come back into that exercise and let it build slowly as the days go on. We'll just do a little stretch before we move on to our side kneeling position. So for side kneeling, the size of 2 fists is your own personal hip distance relative to your own bone size. Check in with your pelvis position to find a neutral spine. Get into your pelvic floor, zip up through the core, relax your shoulders. When you're ready, load into your right wrist, lengthen your left leg, push through the heel. Get the weight out of the hand by pressing down the mat. When you're ready, you inhale to lower and exhale to lift. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. As the classes go on, you're going to see this move progress. You can always choose to just lift and lower instead of adding on the progression. Take a moment to relax the wrist that we were just loading, and whenever you're ready, we're going to set up our second side, hip distance, zip up through the core, relax your shoulders, loading opposite hand, reaching through the leg, push through the heel. Again, get all the weight out of the hand. Take your time here because this exercise will build from this foundation. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Keep reaching through your heel, so as you inhale to lower, it stretches the outside of the hip. I'm going to start showing you the progression. You can always choose to just lift and lower instead. Take a gentle side bend on the other side. That's optional, just if it feels good for your wrist, elbow and shoulder. And whenever you're ready, we're going to come to a cross-legged position. Eventually we'll learn the mermaid seat here, but for now we swap the cross in our ankles to balance out our hips a little bit. Zip up through the core, reach in 2 different directions, melt your shoulders down, turn your left palm up to the ceiling and exhale over to the right. Inhale, grow tall, swap your palms and exhale. Very little weight in the bottom hand. Zip up through the core, anchor down through the hips. Inhale, tall. Exhale, second side. And inhale, grow even taller than before. Exhale. You choose how deep the side bend goes. Make sure that you're relaxed. We're not tugging on our ribs. And when you're ready, you can swap the cross. Anchor down through the hips. Zip up through the core. Melt your shoulders. Left palm up. Exhale over. Inhale, nice and tall. Swap your hands. And exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out as you side bend. Breathe in nice and tall. And exhale to side bend. Inhale, proud and strong. Exhale, second side. Inhale to the center. Exhale and inhale. Relax it out. Take your time relaxing your shoulders and your hips. And whenever you're ready, we're going to come to a seated position. This will turn into a move called boomerang, but to get there we need to practice our roll down and our spine stretch. So we'll make sure we build on the foundation of those moves first, and then eventually this will become a more advanced move. So the legs can be straight or your knees can be bent. It's the same with the upper body for the spine stretch that we introduced today. Inhale to reach, exhale to roll and stack. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, scoop through the core. Exhale, stack your spine. Inhale, round and scoop. Exhale, roll and stack. So it's not a hinge, it's a rounding, and you roll and stack. Our next exercise will be a move called seal. You can use open leg rocker prep or rolling like a ball. Open leg rocker prep, toes were together and knees were apart. Rolling like a ball, knees and ankles are together. Use your C-curve setup. Sit tall, pelvic floor, abs, ribs, scoop through the core. Remember, the front of the body draws through the back of the body to support the spine and work the ab muscles. Build a habit of checking in with your form. Each exercise is just as important as every other exercise in the series to balance your body. Choose rolling like a ball or open leg rocker prep. Inhale back and exhale forward. Inhale to the shoulder blades, exhale, scoop your core. We'll start to increase the reps for the next few classes. For now, just relax out of this one. You can bring your legs around to one side, or you can cross your ankles and roll through. Our plank setup is really important to get a healthy push-up, and I'm going to be showing you a demo of the Pilates push-up soon. Shoulder blades, nice and neutral. Check your neck position, you're looking straight down. Gentle bend in the elbows, check your pelvis, push into the front of the feet, scoop through the core. You can practice one leg at a time for your plank, or both legs can go back, whatever suits you. We just make sure we never hold through pain. Work your glutes, work your inner thighs, work your core muscles, but relax your wrists, elbows, shoulders and neck. Bring your brain down the body. Imagine you're trying to burst a balloon that's between your knees. Take your time using your inner thighs, your bum, your ab work in plank. It's going to pay off later. 10 breaths in Pilates is an advanced plank. You'll feel why later when we put the full move together. Come out of it anytime it doesn't feel right for your wrists. Check in with your setup and just let it build as the days go on. There's a quote in Pilates that it takes 8 classes for all of this to start to come together. I'm sure you're noticing a difference even today on day 3 compared to day 1. Just keep letting it build as the days go on. Relax your shoulders, open up your chest. We're getting ready to roll up. Come onto all fours, spread your fingers out, walk your hands towards parallel feet. Knees can be straight or bent, whatever suits you. Breathe in, exhale, push into your feet and roll up. Inhale and exhale, circling the arms in both directions. And we're done. Thank you so much for joining me for day 3. I'll see you tomorrow for day 4. So let's set up for the rollover. Hip distance between the feet, between the knees, your shoe size heels to glutes, and you can roll your back down onto the mat. Check in with your pelvis, lift into tabletop, one leg at a time, knees and ankles together. Inhale, you bring your pelvis into neutral and the knees towards you. Exhale, knees back above your hips and release to neutral. Imprint, knees in, knees back out, and neutral pelvis. You start to blend that together with your breath, so inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. As you get more comfortable with this, you may choose to peel the spine a bit more. So inhale to peel, one vertebra at a time, exhale to lower. There is the option to reach the legs at a diagonal. Just make sure that this doesn't draw the pelvis forward with the weight of those straighter legs. Only go as low as you can maintain a neutral pelvis. Inhale to peel, exhale, lengthen at a diagonal. Inhale to peel, exhale, lower, neutral pelvis and reach. Inhale to peel through imprint, exhale, neutral and reach. This move progresses to being done with straight legs. You hinge the legs towards you before peeling. Instead of tapping the toes onto the ground, lift through your torso. Use your core to gently lower down one vertebra at a time. Inhale, hinge and peel. Exhale, open hip distance apart and lower one vertebra at a time. To progress further, we inhale and exhale. So now that 4 breath movement turns into a 2 breath movement. Inhale and exhale. Our next step in advancing the move, you inhale over and exhale, go lower with the legs, only going as low as you can maintain a neutral pelvis position. So making sure that you're just adding extra weight onto the abs for more of a challenge and not compromising your form. And our final progression, you bend the feet on the way down. This offers a much deeper stretch through your hamstrings. Inhale, point the feet and roll over. Exhale, bend the feet and lower down. If you want to go further, inhale to roll over, bend the feet, lower down and hinge more at a diagonal. Just make sure to maintain your neutral pelvis while you lower the legs. Hug your knees in to relax your back, and thank you for watching. Bye!